This week in our Ordinary Life Retreat, we are going to be focusing on creative prayer. When I was a child, I tended to think about prayer mostly as saying prayers, whether that were prayers that I said in church or prayers that I said with my family around the dinner table. And as I got a little bit older, I started to say my own prayers. I started to talk to God about my life, usually when I was lying in bed or writing in my journal when I got a little bit older still. As a young adult, I was introduced to silence as a practice of prayer, to the ability to stop talking and listen for God, and I found that to be a great relief at particular times in my life. Recently, I've been exploring more creative and different options for prayer. I think it helps to think a little bit about what we understand prayer to be. What is the purpose of prayer and why do we pray? That doesn't mean that I don't believe in corporate prayer in church, or with other people in special occasions, or writing my own prayers, or speaking my own prayers to God, or even as silence as prayer. But I feel like prayer is much bigger than that there are a lot of different practices that we can try that can open our hearts better to God. In her book, Help, Thanks, Wow, 3 Essential Prayers, Anne Lamott talks about prayer as communication from one's heart to God. That makes sense to me. I think prayer is about opening our hearts to God. And the purpose of that is not to make God into something different or to give God a list like we might give to Santa Claus. The purpose of that is described by Søren Kierkegaard, who was a Danish philosopher and theologian, is that prayer does not change God. Prayer changes the one who prays. And so this week, we're going to talk about prayer. We're going to explore it. We're going to experiment with it. Our daily practices will invite us to open ourselves to God in a variety of ways. Some of them may work really well for you, and others I expect you'll find uncomfortable. And that's just the way it should be. Trying new things, even if they don't fit, can expand our understanding of what we're about together. And your weekly challenge is to pick a prayer practice that you want to experiment with. I will put a whole bunch of links to a variety of options in the online post about this so that you can explore things. Anything from knitting to singing to dancing to yoga to walking to running. You name it. It can be a prayer practice. And so you're invited to try something new. Either try something that you think, ooh, I'm not sure I'm going to like that, if you're feeling really daring. Or try something and you go, oh, that might speak to me. Whatever you choose, I look forward to hearing about how your prayer practice has gone. It's hard to believe that this is our second last week, so thank you for being part of this adventure. Have a great week.